I've been having a few thoughts about the sign of Capricorn, uh, probably because Saturn is in Capricorn at the moment and moving towards my own Saturn, natal Saturn in Capricorn at 28 degrees, going through my second Saturn return and thinking through what I have yet to accomplish, and it's a great deal. I think I've failed in many ways to materialize and actualize my potential in life, largely due to obstacles of a psychological kind placed there or encountered within youth and way beyond, right into my late 30s and early 40s. Quite a climb, actually. So, in many ways, this Capricornian Saturn has shown to be an inner journey, and the accumulation of strength to overcome the obstacles of depression and all that that involves, the suppression of the self, the difficulties of involvement with the world, of others, the closing down and cutting off of one's availability, all the clouds in the way, the dark times, the loneliness, and not wanting to um, reveal that to others because it's too dark. The, the inner journey has been one of trying to find a way out of that. And the outer Capricornian process has been, to a certain extent, missing, or at least not fulfilled, whereas the inner one is the beginning of coming to terms, if you like, with that and some self-worth or self-respect arising out of that battle of Saturn in the fourth house in Capricorn, of finding a way through the dimensions of family ancestry. In this case, particularly my mother, but perhaps relating to my father as well, which is unknown because I never knew him. He was a merchant seaman. That's about all I know, which is very typical of the sign of Capricorn, I suppose, in many ways. To do with food and agriculture and industry upon the seas, and it reflects the goatfish of the sign. But what I'm thinking about the sign is a lot to do with its origins, and its link to this goatfish, which was a later addition, I think, to the sign after previously it was just the goat. And it's an important symbol, of course, the goat, as materiality, as Pan, as the god of nature and abundance, the horn of plenty, I think, arising from the suckling of Saturn or Kronos, or was it Zeus? I think it was Zeus. Now, come to think of it, my mythology is a bit hazy. But it's something to do with the production of qualities of life and abundance, the cornucopia. It's a positive dimension to the earthy realm of lust and sexuality and ambition and the desire to want achievement of some form, to tackle life on earth and its responsibilities, the dedication, the persistence one has to have, all of these qualities inherent in the Capricornian mythology and symbolism. a great deal of self-discipline is required, perhaps even an arrogance in the early part of life to see that your vision as best, as most important, as you're destined for high things, just as the Capricornian goat leaps up the mountain and has a kind of his eye, his vocational path up the mountain, up the ladder of success, towards the top and its peak of achievement. But I was thinking just a moment ago downstairs before I did this video that Capricorn's journey starts, the mountain itself starts below the earth in the realm of Hades, the dark kind of terrain in the bowels of the underworld. And mountains start there from a pressure in the earth's core perhaps, or I'm unsure of the geological foundations of that. I'm not a geologist, but I know that things are formed there, and the pressure right from underneath the earth, the typical Capricornian realm, is pushed then through the water, the oceans, and then right up until it reaches its peak of place, its pride of place, its height of its vocational reach. It's as if it was always meant to go upward through the ocean and then up the earth, and to rise literally to that pinnacle of place between where earth meets the sky, as if its achievement is to do with going as high and as important as it can do. I'm aware of that joke, GOAT, standing for an acronym meaning greatest of all time. And in the psychology, I think, of Capricorns, there is a sense that one is destined for great things, an imaginal leap forth into what one could be and what one seeks to attain in life, a sense of self-importance perhaps, or maybe even coming out from a lack of appreciation in younger years, particularly from the father figure. And then one meets either a mentor, good not good Capricorns, I mean, scrap that. I mean, Capricorns that have found their place in life often have a great mentor or a father figure or a secondary figure to the difficulties of their own personal father. And somehow they find that, and somebody spots their significance. The mentor's duty is to find the purpose and potential of an individual and to try and make that grow, to try and help them, not through the soggy cake and pie and there and soup bowls, chicken soup bowls of cancer, who's there to provide a kind of affectional embrace which makes the person feel safe, but more an affection which sees the potential in someone and seeks to make it grow through discipline, through guidance, through being a kind of higher parent, in other words, a kind of I think that's the duty of the Capricorn. But if he hasn't or she hasn't been mentored herself, then how can you see the potential in other people? You've got to achieve. You've got to make something of your own life through toil and struggle, through building and through failure, and to build enough inner authority and self-respect to go again. I'm thinking of, you know, to go out into life and to build and to develop and to bring a kind of self-disciplined and focused will to one's own life. That, I think, is behind the Capricornian need of ambition and a sense of duty and authoritative control on life. Now, if that grasps the ego, if the person thinks that the pattern of the sign is them, then there's egotism. But other than that, he becomes an ambassador of the spirit itself to achieve his highest potential while he is an incarnate human being.